Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today, if you guys, this is another movie review. Now, if you've been realizing, you probably haven't because I've been kind of done with it, but I've been reviewing the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm on Phase 2. The next film in the series is going to be Captain America the Winter Soldier. However, I last posted my last MCU review, which was Thor the Dark World, about 2 months ago. I wanted to do more, and then I basically got sick twice in a row, and then, Christmas obviously came and went, and I got Jurassic World Dominion Extended, so I figured, hey, I'm going to be, unboxing that soon if I haven't already, so look forward to that video on the channel. I'm going to be giving away a digital code, again, if I haven't already, but I figured, hey, we'll take a bit of a break from the MCU and review all 6 films of the Jurassic era, and the first one, of course, is Jurassic Park. Now, this is actually the Jurassic Park trilogy, which is obviously The Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3. So this has all 3 of the original trilogy in that. Actually, I need to get it on Blu-ray, but still, the first Jurassic Park movie really is, people, you go online and people are like, oh man, it's so good and it's the best one, and it's fantastic. And I don't know if it is the best one, but it is a fantastic movie. It's freaking awesome, and I've seen this movie countless times, alright? Now, before we even begin to review this film, Jurassic Park, I have to tell you how I got into this franchise, right? It's going to be short and sweet, but essentially in 2015 or 2014, something like that, Lego Jurassic World, the video game, was announced. And I haven't seen any of the movies, at that time. I just saw, like, that little, the cup, and it was like, boom, boom, and the water was moving, and then, the T-Rex smashes the cup, and it roars, and its little jaw falls off. It's like, what the fudge? And then it goes, boom, Lego Jurassic World, coming 2015. And I was like, whoa, that's effing cool. Like, a lot of Lego games, they basically got me into their franchises. Like, Star Wars got me into Lego Star Wars, got me into Star Wars. Lego Marvel, Lego Batman, Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Pirates. So many of these Lego games got me into the franchises when they were coming out. Now, obviously, I was a little kid when Star Wars came out. My dad, he was like, oh, you're watching Indiana Jones, you're watching Star Wars with me. And, I enjoyed them when I was a little kid. Obviously, as I say, Star Wars is not for kids. Obviously, my dad was like, F it. I saw it when I was a kid. But, the Indiana Jones face melting scene completely effed me. Metaphorically, of course. But, I saw a lot of these films when I was a kid. I saw them as a teen. But I did see Jurassic Park when I was probably 16 or 17. I don't know how old I was in 2015. But the Lego Jurassic World game got me into this franchise. And, upon knowing that there was going to be a Lego game, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll watch that. And thank God I did, because Jurassic Park, this whole Jurassic era, all 6 movies, I genuinely love all of them. I have some issues with some of them, but this movie, it's hard to come up with negatives. I think if I really could, branch them into negatives, it would really only be 1 or 2 things, and that was probably Laura Dern not being the best actress or actor, whatever you want to say. There's a few moments in the end, and I know, don't be a full franchise, there's a Velociraptor. I know, their Velociraptor is trying to F her up. I understand, right? She's in a panic. Steven Spielberg is like, act panic. There's a freaking Velociraptor about to eat your butt. So obviously she is, not going to play this role as, obviously, like Holdo in The Last Jedi, right? She's not going to play that role where she's like all, firm, and that came out wrong. But you know what I'm saying. She basically was like, hey, act scared and act terrified because there's a dinosaur trying to kill you. So there's moments, specifically where she's trying to get the gun, and, Alan's like, boot off the door, Lex, Ellie, or Lex, or whatever. And, Ellie's like, get out of the by yourself! There's a few moments where I think she overacted, where, I understand there's a dinosaur at the, at the other side of, pretend there was a Velociraptor at the other side of this Batman door, and if the door opened, there'd be a raptor trying to eat my face off. So I understand why she's acting that way. It just comes off a little bit cheesy. It's just in that one scene. And then I think there's another scene where, what is it? Oh yeah, when Hammond, they're all freaking out, and Hammond, it's toward the end, where Hammond's like, and he kind of like just, his jowls move, and he's just like, he's just kind of doing that. I don't know, I don't even know what the hell he screamed. He yelled something. It was either John or kids or stop, I don't know, it was something. I get it, he's panicking, his grandkids are about to get mauled by a Velociraptor. Look, these 2 circumstances are very specific, but that's how it is, alright? It's weird. Those are the only 2 moments where I felt the acting was a bit wonky. Other than that, though, this movie's a freaking masterpiece. I love all 6, but this one, the one kickstarted it all, really did a good job. And there's, really pioneering the CGI, right? And, you know, when did this come out? Was this I want to say 93. I don't think it says on here. But anyway, it was in the mid to early 90s. Tell me in the comments. But, you know, this movie really pioneered the CGI in terms of it looking good. Because, you know, if you're going to pitch a movie where there's people on an island and there's dinosaurs and it's 1990 whatever, 3, 1, whatever, how the hell are you going to get dinosaurs? Because, look, dinosaurs are extinct and CGI is not to the level of the Jurassic World trilogy. So how do we do this without it looking phony and fake and cheesy and corny and all that? And they were like, all right, let's just make the CGI awesome. And this movie is really how we started to get good CGI. Now, I watched the Corridor Crew video where Ren was like, "Oh, there's toward the end where the you know Rexy, the T-Rex, beats the crap out of these two raptors. You know the Velociraptor, like one frame it disappears. You don't notice it in motion. You know, there's moments that are, you know, pretty, I guess, small. You know, there's a Velociraptor or a T-Rex, and it's completely CGI. And again, in 2022 or almost approaching 2023, that shite looks good. All right, like early 90s CGI, it looks better than the prequel, the Star Wars prequels, all 3 of them. You know, like if these dinosaurs were to fall apart, either CGI or practical, the movie would fall apart. Because if you have dinosaurs that look like garbage, then the movie, all of the shock value, all of that just goes out the effing window. Because, you know, it's like watching those old King Kong movies or old Godzilla shit, and it's like you know, the monkey's like stop motion, and he's walking like a tauntaun from Empire Strikes Back. That would just completely ruin everything, you know, the immersion. Because I don't know if people were either dumb back then and they didn't notice or care. You know, it's like 30 FPS versus 60 FPS. Once you play a video game in 60 FPS, your eyes, they adjust. Like when I play Borderlands, you know, 2 or 3 for like a few days, and then I go to play freaking, you know, Lego Indiana Jones, you know, something that isn't 60 and is 30, your eyes notice. So there's little moments like that where, you know, obviously I could tell when the dinosaur, whether that is a Velociraptor or a T-Rex, is, you know, a practical model versus a CGI, you know, creation. I can tell. But the CGI is at the caliber where it doesn't really effing matter because it looks that good. You know what I mean? They had moments where, like, oh, the T-Rex in the rain scene with the paddock and all that. It's like, oh, the T-Rex animatronic got wet. It was acting all wonky. But, you know, you don't notice that stuff. You know, there's other bigger moments where Lex is in, like, the air duct or whatever the hell they're doing in the end. And Lex kind of, like, falls through and, you know, Alan grabs her hand. And Lex looks up at the camera. That is a stunt woman. And Lex's face is a complete cut and paste of, you know, they took the stunt woman's face off and they put Lex's face on top. And it's just little things like that where it looks photoreal. Like, it looks good in 2022. So, CGI, practical effects, man, it is just awesome. This movie is probably one of the best examples of practical effects in film. Because, again, you know, you could easily fall into that trap of, oh, the Velociraptor practical or the you know, Triceratops or the T-Rex. It doesn't look good. You know, it looks kind of phony. The one thing that does look a bit phony is the cow, where they're kind of lowering that black cow into the paddock and then the raptors kind of eat it. It always is cheesy as fudge. It's blinking, and you can clearly tell it's an animatronic, but it looks like that's the most fake-ass animatronic I've ever seen in my entire life. It's completely non-moving. It's blinking. It's going, it's making all these cow noises, and it's blinking and shit, but it just doesn't, it's not moving. It's like a stoic, you know, it's like a static, I should say, model. It just doesn't look good. Other than that, though, the CGI, the practical, it holds up really well. The acting is also phenomenal. Again, there were a few moments, like I said, Hammond and Ellie Sattler, but other than that, I think that the acting is really good. This movie conveys really good emotions, where not only do you have good character arcs like Alan Grant, you know, in the beginning he quite clearly tells Ellie, I don't want a kid, they stink, they poop, they fart, they pee, you know, they're gross, I don't want it, no. And then in the end, I call it the reflection scene, where, you know, shit has literally, not metaphorically, literally hit the fan, and, you know, they're in the chopper in the end, and the John Williams' you know, epic music is playing, and they're all, you know, in the beginning when they arrive on Isla Nublar, they're all chatting and they're talking, you know, Ian Malcolm's like hitting himself, you know, he's like, you know, he's doing all that, and then in the end, he's out, he's done. You know, you don't want any part of this. Ellie is looking at Alan like, look, in the beginning, you know, obviously she doesn't say this, but for the audience that has a working brainstem, they would know, Alan in the beginning doesn't like kids, and through bonding with Tim and Lex, you know, also almost dying together, sharing jokes and just having a good time, realizing that not all kids are horrible little demons, you know, he kind of understands that, hey, you know, I guess I can change as a person. You know, so that's a really good arc. I think that John Hammond also has a really good arc in the movie. You know, he makes Jurassic Park to make money, yes, but he doesn't need the money. He does it because the whole flea circus scene, but all that. But you know, he basically makes this park to show the world that, you know, you can bring stuff to life, and it's not an illusion. It can be real, and it can feel real because it is real. But they forget that metaphorical. You know, these really good debates happen in the movie where they're like, look, you know, Ian's like, you could do it, but should you have done it? You know, did you really have to bring dinos back from the dead? You know, it's like, oh man, I can bring people back from the dead, but should I? You know, are they going to be zombies? Are they going to, you know, enslave us? You know, you don't know. So it's that kind of debate where they're like, okay, you know, maybe we shouldn't have done this. But then you also get, you know, at the end of the movie, he kind of realizes, you know, Alan's like, I don't want to endorse your park, and he's like, yeah, me neither. You know, he's like, I don't want this. I don't want nothing to do with this. You know, he did it out of respect and love, but he had the wrong way of going about it. So he's really not a villain. He's just I guess, a tragic hero, I guess. You know, he wanted to do the good thing. He had good intentions, but he completely effed it, and that's basically what happens. You know, I mean, no other way I could tell you that. He effed it. But other than that, I think that, you know, the character arcs are good. Like I said, CGI is good. Writing is good. There's some funny moments in there. The tension is really good as well. Again, if you have these really bad models or these really poor practical elements, everything's going to fall apart. And because those are so strong and the acting and writing is so strong, you feel these characters. And, you know, obviously, I don't know if this is a horror movie, so to speak, but you feel when these characters are in these, you know, shitty situations, and they're about to die. You know, they're covered in mud, and there's rain, and they're flopping and slipping everywhere, and they're trying to get a gun, but they can't reach it. You know, Ellie just booking it through the woods, you know, Robert Muldoon. Of course, you know, Alan, you know, kind of saying to that fat kid in the beginning, who I don't think is Owen, we don't know, I don't think he is, but he's like, you know, the raptor, they don't come at you from the front, there's two of them at the sides, and they wreck you, and that's what happens to Robert at the end. So when he says clever girl, like Gru, clever girl, it's very much a callback to the beginning of the movie. I think that's kind of cool. So again, I mean, there's really not much to hate besides, you know, one or two little acting scenes. The cow's a bit wonky, but again, those are nitpicks. They did, however, take me out of the movie just for those split seconds where they're in there, where it made me kind of go, or made me cringe just a little bit. Other than that, though, man, it's funny. It's action-packed for the most part. You know, there's not really an action scene, but, you know, the dinosaur, when that dino grabs that effing raptor, just hits the skeleton, and then he roars, and the banner falls down. It's classic good stuff, man, and it holds up. It's just a great time. But I do think that, you know, it has good character arcs, it has good motivations, it has good writing, good acting, again, for the most part. A lot of this stuff really holds up in 2022, almost in 2023. I really enjoyed Jurassic Park. Again, I don't know if I told you this, I think I might have when I reviewed it a year ago, whatever, but I actually saw this movie in high school. I think it was like a sophomore or either a junior or a senior in high school. And my English teacher was like, we're watching Jurassic Park, bitches! And I'm like, whoa, really? Of course, it didn't sound like that. I was like, whoa, really? I'm 14. But it was really cool to see, you know, this movie. Because, you know, in high school, it's like, oh, we're reading a book, and it's garbage. Or, oh, we're watching a movie, but, you know, it's Hamlet, or it's Romeo and Juliet from the 90s, and everyone's singing, and it's bad. But, you know, this movie was like, oh, now we're in the good stuff. You know, let's freaking go. And, you know, my English teacher, you know, she brought up these scenes, like the scene where John Hammond and Ellie Sattler are just sitting, eating, just talking, you know, or just like the reflection period where, not at the end, but, you know, where they just show that long lingering shot of that toy velociraptor, or that toy, whatever the fudge dinosaur was, and Brachiosaurus, whatever, and, you know, little moments. And I knew this stuff before because I was always a film fan, but this was obviously before I had my channel. And, you know, she was just pointing stuff out, but, you know, she'd be like, oh, there's Bill. I'm like, oh, it's Tim, you know, or there's Rachel. I'm like, it's Lex, you know. So it was stupid stuff like that. But you know, she enjoyed it. You know, she's cool. She was a cool teacher. She played Lego games. You know, we talked. So she was cool. But it was cool to, you know, watch this movie in high school. So that was just a good memory. Of course, playing the Lego Jurassic World game, that was awesome. Playing the Lego Dimensions game, that's cool. So, you know, I think TT Games should remake a Lego Jurassic Era, you know, with all 6 movies with the new Skywalker Saga engine, and you're not engine, but, you know, camera angle and all that. Be pretty effing neat. But overall, man, Jurassic Park 1 is a great film. It lays the foundation for the rest of the Jurassic Era, of course. A few negatives here or there, but I'm going to give Jurassic Park, I don't know what I gave it last time. I'm going to give it here, I'm going to give it an A. I'll give it an A. Because, you know, there are a few things. Normally I take one thing off, you know, per negative. But, you know, this film is just too freaking good. It really is. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you've probably seen this movie a few times like myself. But it holds up, man. Again, good action, good writing, good acting. Again, like I said, for the most part, good effects. Again, like I said, for the most part. But it really does hold up in 2022, almost 2023 at this point. It's crazy, and it's a great film. It really does kickstart the franchise off in a really good direction. And there's a reason why many people think this is one of, if not the best film ever made. It's that good. And obviously, The Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, for a lot of fans, do not hit the level of, you know, stride and caliber and all that as this one did. And I agree. I think Jurassic Park, from what I remember of all 6, Jurassic Park 3 is my least favorite. But we'll get to that in a little bit when I cover that movie. But anyway, Jurassic Park, give it an A. I really enjoyed it. Again, a few negatives here there, specifically the cow animatronics, some of the acting, you know, just stuff like that. But nothing too insane. Again, I love a majority of the acting and the effects. I love the, you know, just the story that they try to tell. You know, the music is fantastic. Everything about this movie just freaking works, and it works well. And I can't wait to dive into The Lost World, aka Jurassic Park 2. Tell me in the comments down below what you think about Jurassic Park 1. I wanted to record Lego Jurassic World gameplay for this, but it's late. It's almost midnight where I'm recording this. You can't see, but it's dark out, and I didn't feel like turning on the Xbox. Plus, Lego Jurassic World is only the first 4 movies, and Fallen Kingdom and Dominion are not in it, so I figured that would kind of, you know, be a little wonky. But again, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like. I'm just going to be talking like this for the other 5. I figured we need more of these because I'm doing a lot more Lego Star Wars gameplay. I have a bunch of stuff coming up on the channel, so if you want to see gameplay or discussion videos like these, or reviews, or I'm going to be doing voiceover to, you know, voiceover stuff. We got Spider-Man Fractured Fate, Project Echo Killshot, and myself are working on it very closely. It's going to be freaking awesome. We have an animator, but I'm going to get into that in a separate video or a short, something like that. But Spider-Man Fractured Fate is on the way. It is in production, so I cannot wait to talk about more with you on that soon. But anyway, this is going to end my Jurassic Park review. I'm going to give it an A, like I said. Tell me in the comments down below what you think. Lots more to come on the channel, guys. Hope you guys are hope you guys are excited, and I certainly am. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I cannot wait to talk about The Lost World, Jurassic Park, aka Jurassic Park 2, very soon. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.